Hi everyone, I'm Alexa. This is a quick one. Let's get started. It is Wednesday, time to check in. I don't have a topic really today. My brain is basically all Oasis right now, so it's going to be Oasis Ticketmaster Take 2. They announced US tour dates, and I am going to try and get tickets. I have family members helping me. We live in different houses, so we won't run afoul of the one person in a location can buy up to 4 tickets. We only need 2 tickets anyway. We're waiting to see if we get codes by midnight tonight. 2 of the locations are in Eastern time zone, so that's actually 11 my time, but I don't expect my family to stay up when the code can be used tomorrow starting at noon Eastern if they were to get one. So they'll let me know in the morning if they did get one. And then I have signed up on the Chicago site, the show there, to try and get a code. And if we don't get codes and we don't get to do pre-sale tomorrow, then Friday is going to be a very fun day of trying to coordinate people in queues to get tickets to one of the shows, and I'll go to whichever location we get 2 tickets for. So that is going to be very exciting. I am kind of interested to see the numbers next week on how many people from how many countries, from how many continents, similar to the overwhelming demand of the UK shows. It was something like less than a 4% chance or something of you getting tickets there. And I'm going to see what those chances are when they give us the totals next week. Even in less than a day and a half since announcing, I guess it's 2 days, maybe 2 days exactly. They announced them on Monday, and they announced one show in each location, and they've already announced a second date in 4 of the 5 locations. There's 1 in Canada, 3 locations in the US, and 1 in Mexico. So they didn't do Boston. They didn't announce Boston shows. I wonder if they will or won't. Well, I mean, whatever it is, what it is. It's certainly taking up a lot of my time. I definitely want tickets. I will be very upset if I don't. It's not the end of the world. I will survive. But right now, all I'm thinking about is I am getting tickets. They're mine. I have them. I'm going to see them. Just putting that out there in the world. Contrasting that with all of the images that are coming out of the South right now and the aftermath of the incredibly devastating the flooding from the hurricane and the disaster that is unfolding before our eyes. If you look at world news, you'll see this sort of event happen in places where there are monsoons, and you'll see mudslides, and you'll see that, and it's horrible no matter where you see it. To see it in such an unexpected place is where a little bit more of the shock value can come in. It does not minimize the loss in other places. It sort of is more, to me, a reminder that we get very comfortable. We feel very safe where we are. We think it can't happen here. I am in the Midwest. I'm not in the affected areas, but even in the Midwest, there was devastating flooding in the northwest of Iowa just a few months ago. I mean, just as bad as some of these cities and towns are having right now, or dealing with the aftermath of, I should say, in these southern states, particularly the western side of the 2 Carolinas, North and South Carolina. And it's really re-emphasizing to me how important it is to not be a doomsday person, but to have a good plan and to have a way of surviving, of keeping yourself safe, to know the minute that floodwaters come even close to you, you can't wait until they're here. You have to wait. you have to get out while they're close, even if you don't know if they're going to get to where you are. Once they get to where you are, it's too late. They will rise so quickly, and the rising floodwaters it's so dangerous because you don't know how fast they're going to go up. You need to be ready to evacuate prior to them reaching you. You need to have a route out that is higher ground, that is not in the path of the storm or the expected flooding. Leaving your house to go somewhere and the way through is on lower ground is almost certainly a recipe for disaster. And then things like a way to have water and food for a week. A week is probably a good estimate that most of us could do. And this is non-perishables. This is stuff that doesn't need to be refrigerated. It just reminds me of why we need to plan for this thing. You need to have, if you needed to leave your house in 10 minutes, could you get out of the door with everything that you absolutely needed? For example, if you have medications that you have to take, right? I have 2 cats. They have to come with me, right? That's a good 5 minutes right there, getting them in a carrier and getting them all set up in the car and everything. I could do it faster, I think. But what are the things that you have that absolutely must go with you? And do you have them in a place that is easy to get, and grab and take with you? Do you have non-perishables? Do you have a way of cooking those non-perishables if they need to be cooked? It's no point having dry pasta if you have no water and no fuel to start a fire, and if it's raining, the wood will be wet. How are you going to cook it, right? You have to have stuff you can eat without cooking it. I sort of teeter on the edge of being a prepper in that I want to be prepared for emergencies. I certainly would not consider myself well prepared. I think there's a lot of people who are actual preppers who would just laugh at my preparations. But I would say that I probably am more prepped than a lot of people. A lot of people, I don't think about these things. I was just watching a video for a YouTuber. His first name is Taras. I think his last name is Cool. I think that's how you say it. And he's been one I've watched, since the early days of YouTube. He used to be under the moniker Crazy Russian Hacker, and he now goes by his actual name. And he has done a lot of videos over the years on ready meals, like from various militaries. You can buy them, older ones. He has done all sorts of tests on gadgets that are meant to help you if you're camping or in a survival situation. So he, just by the nature of him having tested all of those products and put those videos on YouTube, and he's obviously had the products, he's kept the best ones. Just watching a video on he's in the area in North Carolina that was absolutely one of the worst hits, and it hit on Friday, I want to say. I'm sorry, I'm not sure of the number of days at this point, but he was posting a video that the lights are coming back on. The grocery store was finally open. It was, I think he said in the video, it was 3 or 4 days that they hadn't been able to have the power or whatnot. There's no refrigerated food. The food is there. They haven't been able to throw all of it out yet, but it's all taped off. Like it all went bad. 3 days without power, 4 days without power. It's going to. But at least the store was open. However, it was questionable if you needed cash or not. And that's another thing. Most people don't buy cash. There have been a few events where something has gone down and people have no money because they all use, in the UK, it's way more than maybe cities over here are like this, but here in the Midwest, people can pay with cash a lot, but it's still way more digital than it should be in an emergency. If all you have is a credit card, you might not get anything. If all of the electric is down, even if the electric is up, if the internet is down, if the phone line's down, you're not going to be able to pay for anything. In the UK, it's all flipping pay with your phone with Google or Apple Pay. And it's like, no, I literally have legal tender in my hand, cash. I wish to purchase this. And I mean, even outside of emergency situations, there have been hacks. There was a hack of the London Underground, the tube, and they force you to use your credit card. We were at a station. There was an attendant there. I wanted to buy just my round trip ticket. We couldn't. You have to use a credit card. You have to set it up online ahead of time, and you tap in. And then when you get to your destination, you tap yourself out of the tube as well. And then your return trip. And at the end of the day, or you could take like 15 trips, 20 trips in a day, in and out, and all of the costs will be charged in one bulk to your credit card at the end of the day. Okay, except that they just got hacked. So now everyone who's used their credit card on the tube, that has now been hacked. And you see this in all sorts of places and all sorts of hacks that are happening. You see it with Verizon was down again across more of the country. It affected the Midwest the last time. And then I think it was across the whole country, and people couldn't get in their phones, couldn't do anything. So having cash and another way, some way of paying is so important, and not just in emergency situations, but when electricity is down, right? And you can't do a digital payment. I think that I bring this up because it reminds me to be grateful for how excited I am at the opportunity to get Oasis tickets, that my life is in a place where I can be able to do that, to have saved money, and to be able to say, wow, this is something that this is going to be a lifetime, like a once in a lifetime experience for me. And I'm going to do that. And I'm excited about it. I feel like every person I've spoken to in the past 2 days since they announced the actual dates on Monday I've probably told everyone about it. Looking at the disaster going on, and yes, the one in the States is definitely shocking. There are those going on in other locations. I know someone who lives, I want to say in Thailand. He's going to, if he watches this and sees, he's going to be mad if I got it wrong. It might be Indonesia, but I think it's Thailand. And he just posted something about a mudslide and flooding, and just the same as has happened in the Carolinas and other states. And it really, really helps me remember to be grateful for the little things, and to plan for, maybe not the absolute worst. I don't know if I could imagine that. I have a pretty good imagination, but to plan for the worst, hope for the best, and to be grateful for what I have. And if you made it this far, that's all I got for you tonight. I appreciate you being here as always. Let me know your thoughts. If you're in any of the affected areas, my heart goes out to you. I wish you all the best. I'm sending all the positive energy I can to those who are affected. And if you're in the Oasis queue on Friday, I do hope you get tickets, but I hope I get my tickets first. I'll be equal sending out positive thoughts to everyone in the topics I had tonight. So anyway, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. As always, drop a like, subscribe, let me know your thoughts. And I will see you on the next one.